This tiny island in Fiji is in the middle of nowhere and is surrounded by salty, non-drinkable ocean water, yet it exports $405 million worth of bottled water every year. To put that in perspective, the whole United States exports approximately $49 million worth of water. There's something going on in Fiji. It doesn't take a genius to understand that plastic bottle of water transported by air and then by land as well is not the most economic way to consume water. In order to drink 0.13 gallons of water shipped from a location like Fiji, it requires 1.75 gallons of water to produce and takes 2,000 times more energy than drinking US tap water. Everyone knows there is a plenty of drinkable water in the US. So I wanted to know not only how Fiji brand is able to make Americans buy Fiji expensive water, but also how we can take their unique strategy to build our own brand that breaks every law of export economics. You see, the real question isn't how did they become successful, but why people are buying their expensive water. If I hadn't seen the Fiji water export numbers, I would have thought that you made the story up. It's beyond crazy. So it usually comes down to these two things. They have either excellent product or they have great branding, or both. I was curious about how something as simple as water could distinguish its quality from other brands. Alright, let's try Fiji water. Let's start from the beginning, shall we? Fiji Water started with the David Gilmour's vision of offering pure natural water source from a remote location in Fiji. This idea led David Gilmour to found Fiji Water in 1996. The unique idea was to promise a pure and natural taste thanks to Fiji's untouched natural resources. And David Gilmour was an experienced businessman with a great success in hotel chains and gold mines. It was later that he became the most known as the architect of a pure water brand. And it was not by accident. He turned out to be the right guy for this task. Why? It all depends on the company culture and storytelling.
It's not just water, it's Fiji water.
David Gilmour was a big proponent of longevity, and he must have done something right because he lived till the age of 91. The idea hit him on the golf course in Fiji after he watched a player pull out a bottle of Evian. And as he said, this is what he thought. My God, they've come 10,000 miles to the middle of the most pristine environment and they are drinking water from the heavily industrialized continent. And so Gilmour researched local aquifers and found a source of an artesian aquifer located in Fiji. So when he found Fiji water, he firmly believed that this water was the best water on the planet, and he had well-grounded reasons to believe so. It comes from an untouched ecosystem, far from pollutants like acid rains, herbicides and pesticides. It's naturally filtered through layers of volcanic rock, including silica, basalt and sandstone. It is shielded by the layer of volcanic rock. This ensures that the water is exceptionally pure and rich in minerals. There is a reason why I'm telling you all this. Every exponential company is in the architect phase trying to figure out their best-in-class attribute. But Fiji water is not the 3M type of a product where features play a big role. It's also not about composition of minerals in that water, which is weird because that's exactly what on paper what the product is. It's about the story of water, where a single teardrop from a god Zeus fell into the Fiji reservoir and created a water fit only a baby unicorns to drink. Okay, maybe that's too far, but you get my point. If you search the planet for the best story to be told to its customers about the pure water source, Fiji water was it. So David Gilmour found his first best-in-class attribute, the story. Non-replicable, unique myth that no other brand on the planet can tell. When you want to build an exponential company, you plan to spend 10 plus years building it. So you want to build on values that can be disrupted or challenged. For example, Fiji is an unspoiled paradise and will always be that way. For Fiji to be perceived as a paradise is a huge deal for their branding. When you are standing in a shopping mall in front of a large variety of water brands and the price is not an obstacle, then the decision is made visually and in seconds. You are likely just to scan the shelves, not to read the list of minerals on the labels on the back of the bottles. This is why the brand and the overall impression of the bottle is so important. When you say Fiji, everyone thinks of paradise. Okay, let's slow down. Let's be honest. It's just water. Water is for most modern civilization almost free. Let's try to break it down to the first principles. In Maslow's hierarchy of needs, water is the most physiological need humans have, but most people have access to free water. So if you want to sell premium water products, you will not be looking at the base level of human needs because they are already satisfied. So what is above that? Safety and security. You can argue about cleanliness and health, but in the US, 90% of tap water is drinkable, so that is not a valid reason. Love and belongings? No. Self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect of others, and the need to be unique. Wait. We could sell a bottle of water through a desire to be respected and unique? If you watch my video on how luxury brands sell 2,700 handbags to people who can't afford them, you will know that Louis Vuitton fashion is sold through one of our most powerful feelings, desire. Desire has three key aspects: exclusivity, luxury, and endorsement. Scarcity is a key ingredient of exclusivity. The harder an item is to obtain, the more desirable it will become. As of luxury brands, they use luxury materials, famous designers, and beautiful designs as a price justification. Endorsement also play a crucial role. When a high-profile personality uses a brand, it's a sign of status and acceptance into an elite club. And these ideas must have come to David Gilmour because he must have said to himself, wait a moment, Fiji should be a brand, and we have to become the best in class in marketing. For Fiji water, a scarcity was a default attribute, because Fiji water at the time was actually impossible to obtain in the US. And then David Gilmour had to solve the other two missing desire attributes, luxury and endorsement. And that led him to do what none of the other water brands did: a bottle. David Gilmour designed a square water bottle. He initially didn't just do it because of aesthetics, it was more efficient packaging for air transport, reducing the overall carbon footprint. And more importantly, the square bottle allowed him to ship slightly more water, which meant more profit. The Fiji water was squared, unlike any other traditional rounded bottles, and he also had at the time a uniquely see-through label. In fact, Fiji bottle was patented as the only brand that can have a square bottle. Let's say kind of. It took David Gilmour one extra year to create a bottle design. It was nothing like hundreds of other competitors' bottles. This was a missing element for Fiji water. He found a unique and luxurious design. Isn't it interesting that the most efficient way to make a bottle being shipped turned out to be the real differentiator and probably one of the most important contributions to the Fiji brand? I can't stress enough how important it is that the CEO during the architect phase slowed down and understood he couldn't have an ordinary bottle. If he had left the architect phase before that, it would have been a mistake. He had to understand that the real challenge was to solve the marketing and branding, not the water supply or the transportation. And David Gilmour had a great quote to guide him through marketing. Visibility creates trials, and trials create advocacy. The unique square bottle. What an idea. There was this third element of desire that he was missing, and that was endorsement. He knew endorsement is not a one-time job. It is a continuous work, and therefore it is suited for the stonemason stage. Before we'll get to that stage, he had to do what every CEO should do: a napkin math. David Gilmour had to understand if it's even economically viable to ship Fiji water to the US. He had to consider the cost of water, extraction, labor, bottling, taxes, and also transportation. So labor on this tiny island was cheap. Check. Foundations for the water extraction and bottling, the cost was calculated to be $5 million. Fortunately, he had the money to fund it himself. Check. Taxes. Fiji basically didn't tax water extraction or export. That gave the Fiji brand a big competitive advantage. Check. Transportation. Well, that was expensive. Can't do much about it if you want to have the exotic island story. So when he had the story, marketing trajectory, branded bottle, and the napkin mat, he could finally enter the stonemason stage. Fiji water doesn't sell at the lowest price. It sells as a premium product. Anytime you are selling something 2,000 times more expensive than the pure products, in this case the tap water, of course it is all about marketing. Fiji water became a staple in high-end hotels, restaurants, and events, cementing its status as a premium brand. It was also seen at charity events. David Gilmour knew there is a clear equation that he has to follow in order to build his company. Clever marketing, free resource, big profit. What was the last puzzle of the desire that his brand was missing? Endorsement. And there is the beautiful thing about Fiji water brand. People don't mind being seen with the brand. It's water. It's harmless. It's not offensive. It's healthy. And we all need it every day. It's not a crypto company that later goes bankrupt. Most celebrities don't want to take the risk. And so David Gilmour hired a creative entertaining services, a Hollywood marketing consulting firm. With this partnership, Fiji has been able to fit Fiji water bottles in the scripts of many major Hollywood movies. Fiji became a major supplier of Hollywood and TV shows. This was the celebrity endorsement and product placement in the movies and TV shows that the Fiji brand needed. With the new management, Fiji Water just repeated what worked, a celebrity endorsement. This is how the exponential protocol works. In the exponential phase, you compound the values that you've already built. Fiji could have easily named their strategy Fiji Waterfall, because what happened next was like from branding playbook. Celebrities fell in love with this bottle and brand so much that they've started to use it without any reward. It was the brand of their choice. Then, friends of celebrities started to buy Fiji water, and Hollywood crew, friends of the crew, and then friends of the friends of the friends. The endorsement worked from the top to the bottom, not to even mention the movies and all the TV shows. It was the waterfall effect.
Nah, son, get the Fiji. Evian is gross.
With all of that attention and success, Fiji Water had to take their bottle design to another level. They created, in my opinion, the most beautiful water bottle. With higher demand, they also introduced different bottle sizes to suit multiple market needs. What is disappointing is that before the Fiji achieved real growth, David Gilmour sold his company. Fiji Water was acquired from Gilmour in 2004 for a reported $50 million. Why would he sell? We can only speculate, but I think he just wasn't the right person to lead the company through the exponential phase. It was never his ambition. He didn't intend to create a marketing company. He also prioritized his own health over running an empire. And so he sold the company. They invested in marketing, using social media and digital marketing to reach a broader audience. Their brand and bottle became so desirable that parents of the kids started to refill their bottles with the tap water at school. And as the brand carries the country's name, the Fiji Water brand alone sparked an increase in Fiji tourism. Fiji was still on top of people's mind, thinking, oh, maybe I do want to go to Fiji. It became the fastest growing premium beverage in the world. Fiji has reached a near exponential scale. So what is stopping them? One of the challenges Fiji Water is facing is its lack of real benefits of scale. They would have ideally want to lower the cost of transport, but they can't. The distance is simply non-negotiable. The next challenge is that the wealthier people can become increasingly resistant to participating in these transportational methods that are not good for environment. For example, when Coca-Cola faced a market shift due to the people avoiding sugar, they started using artificial sweeteners in products like Coke Zero, and the problem was solved. I actually made a whole video about it called How Sugar Brands Use Our Addiction. But for Fiji Water, you can't sell locally sourced water in America named Fiji. So what initially became an edge for the brand could slowly become a challenge in the future. This location limitation is embedded into the brand as a double-edged sword. Once they will find out the solution, there'll be nothing stopping them. And as for the taste of the water, it's water. Oh my god, they're so good at marketing.